Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Cameron and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to cover the Romanian deadlift exercise, or in other words, the RDL. And the Romanian deadlift is a great exercise to build up your hamstrings, glutes and lower back together in one. It's a compounded exercise and it's going to be really beneficial for growth and strength as well. And I'm also going to teach you how to master the hip hinge movement, which is the biggest mistake that a lot of beginners do when they're learning the Romanian deadlift. They do more of a squatting pattern. I'm going to show you what that looks like in today's video. All right, so with the RDL, like I mentioned before, it is a hip hinge exercise. So to learn that movement pattern before we get into the bar or kettlebells or resistance band, whatever we're doing, we're going to use the broomstick or the dowel rod, which you can find in the gym, to learn the technique. So what we're going to do, place it in line with our spine. We're going to have 3 points of contact. So one at the head, one at the shoulder blades, and one at the hips. And as we perform the hinge, we're maintaining those 3 points of contact the whole time and coming back up. If for any reason it pops off from the hips and you get a little bit of lower back rounding, then it could be an indication that your hamstrings are a little bit tight. In that case, we're just going to reduce the movement. So even if you have someone with really tight hamstrings, then this might be all you can do. And if that's you, then I recommend not performing the Romanian deadlift until you spend some time stretching out through those hamstrings and improving that range, and also practicing with the dowel rod until you can get a little bit lower, and then you can perform the movement safely. Likewise, if your posture is your limiting factor, and let's say you have a bit of a rounded spine, you're going to struggle keeping that head back and maintaining that connection there. So in that case, I would advise the same thing, not performing this exercise with weights until you've improved your posture. Another reason why I teach clients how to use the dowel rod first is so they can really feel the posterior chain working. And that's what we call the connection between the hamstrings, glutes, and lower back, working as one, loading that back side of the body to perform the movement optimally. A lot of times, beginners, as they perform the movement, they're going to be doing too much knee bend, and this is going to be more of a squatting movement. In that case, you're not going to be loading the posterior chain properly. Another useful cue that I like to give to my clients is that imagine there's a cabinet drawer behind you, and one of those drawers is open. And so what you need to do is close that drawer with your bum by pushing back. This will teach you how to not bend those knees. We don't want to completely lock out the knees, so just relax them and they will bend naturally as you push that bum back, compared to, say, actually bending them and squatting. So hopefully that cue helps. Additionally, when people learn this exercise, it's pretty common that beginners tend to feel discomfort or pain in their lower back, and that can be down to a couple of different reasons. Mainly due to the exercise itself and learning how to do the hip hinge. If you're not loading the posterior chain properly, then it is likely that you're going to experience more discomfort in that lower back. However, in some cases, you might be performing the exercise correctly, but you might have poor activation in your glutes. And if that's the case, I have a video here on 2 exercises you can do to activate those glutes and really feel them properly before you can move on to this exercise. Okay, once you're a bit more comfortable in performing the hip hinge exercise with that dowel rod, now we're going to actually load it with weights and perform the exercise. Now the problem is we're going to be picking this up from the floor and doing more of a deadlift position. But I teach clients how to do a Romanian deadlift first. So what I recommend is actually just taking it off the squat rack and going from there, or starting light with a kettlebell. But in today's video, I'm going to show you from the floor position. So I'm just going to just do a normal deadlift up. Okay, and then from here, same technique with the dowel rod. I'm going to push my bum back. And coming back up. I am keeping that bar very close to my body, maintaining good posture. All right, so just a few different pointers to keep in mind. Firstly, looking down at the ankle. So as you can see, I'm not actually wearing any shoes right now because I want to focus on foot stability. And I find with my shoes that I have today, they're not going to be as optimal compared to a bare foot. But if you're training in a commercial gym, you're probably not going to be allowed to not wear any shoes. So maybe best to find a shoe that's going to be great for optimizing foot stability, but it's not a big stress when you're learning this exercise, especially with low weight. The second thing is the distance my feet are apart. So they're at hip width position, and that is good for me to feel the most out of my posterior chain. But there's a slight adjustment I make. Rather than just going completely straight back, what I do, I just turn out my knees slightly as I push them back. That can help with activating your glutes a little more. So that could be a good little adjustment you can make as well, just to get the most out of the exercise. Thirdly, core. Now, when you learn this exercise, it's not crucial in learning what we call abdominal bracing. That's more of an advanced technique, and especially as you're loading up heaps of weight in the bar. And I'm going to do a future video on how to do that, but it's a little bit too complex for this video right now. Just for the meantime, you can just focus on breathing in and out through your nose and out through your mouth. So breathing in, holding that position, and then breathing out at the top. So what that looks like with some weight, so breathe in, breathe out as you come up. If you still struggle with this exercise, mastering the hip hinge is going to be critical in performing this exercise. If you have any further questions with the technique or any exercises you like to see, let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to make them for you. All right, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.